Hi, all. I'm back for, I guess, technically episode 2, but it really should be episode 1A because if this does become a thing, I really didn't introduce myself, so I thought I would. I'm Esther. Hi. I have two boys. Josh is 9 and Ben is 6. And I've always wanted to be a mom. I never remember a time not wanting to be a mom. But it is not at all what I expected it to be. So I thought this could be a fun way to talk to friends and put out there that motherhood, parenthood, because I will get into it in another time of how I think that fathers are not given the credit that they deserve. But parenthood in general is almost never what you think you're signing up for. It is exceedingly better, I think, than you hope it would be, and it is also exceedingly worse than you think it could ever be. So basically, I never really understood how high of a high life could be or how low it could be until I was a mother. So thought we could talk about things like that. My next episode, I will actually hopefully have another person here since it's called Parents in Bed Eating Ice Cream. I do have my ice cream this time. It is homemade Oreo ice cream. My husband made it, not me, which is why it's even better. So, double stuffed Oreos and stuff, um, made in my own home by someone I love. What could be better? Okay, you know what I mean. So, it's a little bit of me. I'm guessing 99% of the people who watch this know most things about me anyway, except for the crazy confessions I'll post on here. So, because I had a couple people express some interest, either genuine or just trying to be nice, I did make up a list of questions that I could ask people if they come on the show. So I will ask myself these questions now. Not all of them, just to kind of explore where this might go. And for those people who I know care about stuff in the background, it's a picture from IKEA, and I just keep a lot of ticket stubs from stuff. There's that, and then there's some crap on my nightstand. My birth control pills, and other things. So, welcome to my room. Questions. Sorry, I'm just switching over. So, I'm just. So, one of the questions on the serious side is if you could go back to just before you had your first child, what is something you would want to tell yourself? And in the interest of being brutally honest, so if either of my parents are watching this, maybe fast forward or turn it off right now. What I would say to myself before the day that I gave birth to Josh would be don't have sex that morning. We're not 100% sure. That's why I went into labor a month early, but it's possible. So I live with a lot of guilt of the fact that I did not carry Josh to term. And whether it is legit or irrational? It is. So, and here comes Josh. What are you doing? You should be in bed.
I am.
Okay, go to bed. Close the door, please. Yes, so, again, I don't know if it's the cause, but it might be. So that is what I would tell myself, is to let it be. Um, there's probably a million other things I would tell myself as well, like you're not doing as bad as you think that you're doing. Um, I don't know. I've recently started kind of looking at myself more and realizing how hard I am on myself, and how I probably shouldn't be so hard on myself. I might be my worst critic, so I need to work on that. So these are all kinds of things that I would love to go back and tell myself, that he's going to turn out okay, and he will eventually sleep. And it's not your fault that I don't know. I'd love to go back and tell myself that things aren't my fault, but I still believe that they are. So it's hard. Yeah. Okay, maybe that was a bad question to start with. Let me just check out my list of other questions. Okay. Has there ever been a time when you had relief just by someone else saying "me too"? Of course. It's genuinely, as a parent, it's one of the things that has been the best thing to ever happen to me, is when I've said something where I've confessed to friends something that I've done that I felt made me a failure as a mom. When I yelled at a time when they really didn't deserve to be yelled at, or things that Josh has done that I think that no other child probably does. And then when I would speak to somebody else who has a child like Josh, and they say, "Oh my God, that happens to me too." And I could see the relief on her face when I told her that Josh did this, whatever it was, a behavior, or what I thought was an irrational or a fear that he had that I didn't think anybody else had. For instance, singing the when people sing happy birthday, and how you get scared and leave. And I had this one friend who just said, "Oh my God, I'd be singing songs with my kid, and we'd be singing, 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 and then all of a sudden, if I would just start to sing happy birthday, he'd freak out and hide." And it was, as horrible as it may sound, I was so glad that her kid did that. Not because I was glad that her child was going through that, but I was glad that it wasn't just Josh. Those words, besides the whole movement that has come out in the last year, those words to me as a parent have meant so much more than anything else. They are so powerful. They are so, like, it's such a release almost to hold on to something that you think is something bad, or something wrong that you're doing or that you feel. And then when somebody says, "Oh, I feel that way too," or I've done that too. It's honestly one of the best feelings ever. Um, so, yes. I mean, who hasn't? I guess that's a silly question. I probably won't ask another person, but yes. I'm gonna do one more question because, again, I really wanted the show to be more like with other people. So, having it just be me is kind of weird. But anyway, I'll eat my ice cream a little bit more because, again, parents in bed eating ice cream. Mm. But again, if it's just me, you really don't want to watch me eat ice cream. Or maybe you do. Feedback is always welcome. Um, okay. Um, so I will do what is one of the funniest things you or your partner have done as a parent? Okay. Every adult that I've told this story to, what is up with my hair? Thinks this is funny. I almost kind of regret it, but it's funny. I can still hear Josh outside. But anyway, Mom of the Year is just gonna pretend that her child is not still awake at 10:30, and continue talking to you, whoever you are. Okay, so back to the funny thing. Very, very recently, this past June, Jeff, my husband, Ben, my youngest, and I were at the fun fair at Ben's school, which is like 2 blocks from our house. And we walked there, and on our way home, Ben thought that he would be funny, and he stopped walking and said, I am staying in this spot for the rest of my life. And Jeff said, okay, hun, let's say bye to Ben. I guess we're going to have to get another kid. And I said, that sucks because I like him way better than Gary. And to which Ben said, who's Gary? And I said, again, maybe not my proudest moment, the kid we had before you who didn't move from his spot, so then we got you. Yeah. It's funny because he went, really? And I laughed and said, no. But Jeff laughed and said, yes. Now, not that I'm stupid, but Jeff is way smarter than me. And he can fix things. So to the kids, he just seems way smarter than me because, like, nothing is ever really broken in this house because Daddy can fix it. So, with that said, when I say no, it's not real, and Jeff says it is real, Ben believes him. And it's like, really? You had a kid before me? Oh my god! And where is he now? And what? I'm like, Ben, it's not real. It is not real. I swear it's not. And Jeff, God love him, he's like, behind my back. Well, I finally calm Ben down. I convince him that it's a joke. We get home. Josh is here watching a SpongeBob SquarePants video. Now, I never watched this. This was a little bit after my time. But apparently there's a character named Gary, and Josh was running around going, Gary, Gary, Gary. And Ben just like, I could not have timed that like better. I don't know where the name Gary came from. I like completely grabbed it out of the air. But I lost it. It was freaking hilarious. The poor kid, yeah, pretty much thought that I traded him in like a t-shirt. So felt kind of bad. But yeah, I don't know that I would do it again. I probably would because I was raised with 2 older brothers who teased me, and this is just kind of the sick sense of humor that's in my head now. So it was pretty funny. And when he's older and for sure knows that it's a lie, I'm sure he'll think it's funny. And hopefully do it to his kid one day, because let's pass on the trauma, right? Um, anyway, when Jeff tells the story, it seems a lot funnier, but um, is what it is. And I will say, in case of copyright laws or anything like that, I did kind of steal this idea from Home Improvement back in the 90s. The brothers, the two older brothers, kind of pulled this trick on their little brother, and I always thought that was hilarious. But being the youngest of my family, I didn't really have anybody to pull it on. So 20 years later, I guess, maybe more, I did it to my kid. And I felt really bad, but it was probably one of the funniest nights in a very long time. So if you feel your kid can take a joke, I highly recommend it. I think it's probably like pretty awesome to do if they're being bad or, well, whatever. You know what? I don't know if I should condone this because things would come back to bite me in the butt. But let's just say, um, Jeff and I, and especially our friends without kids, think it's freaking hilarious. So, um, these are the kinds of questions, the conversations that I want to have with people. A little bit serious, a little bit fun. Um, I'll have other ice cream, although I don't know what more you could want than homemade Oreo ice cream. There is also homemade strawberry ice cream in my freezer at this moment. So hopefully I will have somebody with me next time. Um, maybe not. I hope you're enjoying this. I will try to get better at being a host. It is weird looking at myself because, I mean, look at all this. It's not quite Giselle or Gal Gadot or whatever. But anyway, that's a whole other therapy session. Um, Hope you enjoyed this. Please, please, please let me know if you did, because if I post this and you didn't, I may as well just stop right here, right? Anyway, have fun. You probably stopped watching now. It's like 17 minutes plus, so sorry.